Hello. I fixed the that bug that I was working on for 4 hours yesterday. I fixed it in about 10 minutes after I stopped recording. It's amazing the psychological effect that just knowing that I'm recording has on me. Uh, Again, it's probably one of those things that just gets easier the more you do it. But I basically fixed it in a really easy way, which was to just filter out the duplicate um, step values before they're sent to the audio engine. So I just added this. I modified this function so that they get filtered out. So we don't end up if you have a manipulator. If you have a reverse manipulator like this with no modulation data inside, then it won't generate like these empty modulation points at the edges. And also if you have a block like this, it would just generate there and not again at the edge. So that solves the artifact that we were hearing. And the other thing was the other thing I spent ages working on was that hacky fix for this step painter to solve the problem of these tiny gaps being generated or tiny blocks. And I realized that was still broken after I fixed it, so I fixed it again in a slightly different way. So that should all be working now. So now I am just going. I fixed a bunch of other things as well. I fixed synthesizers weren't working. They were just crashing when you try to create a synthesizer. Now you can create one. Is baking turned off? Yes. Okay. Saving and loading projects should be. Well, I fixed several bugs relating to that, but still haven't very thoroughly tested it, so I'll be testing that. But it should basically work. What else did I do? I fixed a bunch of things. So this is my basic test plan, but I basically need to test everything. Test every dialogue. Okay. Open each one twice. I don't know why I added that note. There must be... I can't remember. I added that for a reason. Every dialogue should be opened twice, just in case something weird happens the second time it opens. So, well, this is wrong straight away. It's interesting. Oh right. So when you export a synth at the moment, it's not supposed to show the waveform. So it's showing this label saying there's no waveform, but it's also showing the waveform, which is not supposed to. So there's a bug straight away. So the export block dialog. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. No, I don't understand actually. Oh, unconfirmed. No, that's not right, is it? Export dialog. Confirmation dialog. I think I want to handle the pop-up hide signal. Do this here. So when this happens, the waveform node should be hidden. And previously, that was only happening if you press the confirmation button to actually perform the export. Okay, good. So in the future I'll be able to actually render away from there, but it's a bit complicated at the moment. I guess it's not. It could just take the baked waveform, but in some cases baking is turned off, so there won't be one yet, so I'd have to generate one. Anyway. I guess this is fine. None of this actually changed. It was just like the opening and closing of dialogues that changed. Let's check that the oh, that's interesting. Hovering over this and pressing escape is supposed to I'm sure it works on samplers actually. So, oh no, it's not working at all. Escape is supposed to do various things depending on context. It's basically like this global... Oh, this is fucked up as well. What's happening here? Oh no, it's not. What is happening? It seems kind of... Yeah, it's just when the prop block is kind of narrow. It looks a bit strange. Anyway, the escape key, when you hover over a block when the segment editor is open, you should close it. If the segment editor is not open but the envelope editor is open, but then it should close that. Otherwise it contracts the lane, then press escape again and it does that again and it contracts the track. Oh, I just noticed the track thumbnails are not working either. So I'll make a note of that. Track thumbnails. So let's first of all solve the escape key not working. That was working like a few days ago. I remember using it. So I must have broken something. recently. Weird. I don't know how the hell this got broken. What the hell just happened? I don't know what I pressed there. Close hovered block editor. Oh no. This shouldn't be happening. What? Oh, that's stupid of me. Okay, do that. Thank you. Right, so now escape. Crash. Ah. This thing. I don't know what's going on. Because I don't understand computers. Is editing. Why? I understand. Okay. Fuck. It's because I use virtual functions for everything, and cause loads of problems for myself by doing that. Lost my train of thought. What was I doing? Oh, right. So, escape. Thank you, yes. Thank you. Alright. Escape. 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 Good. Fix escape. Hide waveform when export dialog closes. Right. What to test? Effects. I haven't tested effects at all since I finished the refactor. So this menu's fucked up. What's going on? Whatever. Let's do this. That basic test is working, I guess. This seems weird. What does this do then? This effect is broken, I've just noticed. It's been broken forever. Because I have these dry wet sliders, but then I also have these dry wet envelopes, and it seems like if you have the wet envelope at 100% and the slider at 100% also, it goes to 200% and it gets really loud. I think that's what's going on. So that's broken, but I'm not going to fix that right now. I'm not that worried about plugin bugs right now. I want to get the host bug free. So I will make a note of that. Okay, so that's cool. Drag everything into a macro. And then do something terrible like this, maybe. That all seems to be working. Oh yeah, the dialogues. That's what I was doing. Export. Let's get another sample in. I should test the autoplay thing. Oh. Wow, okay. I was not expecting any bugs here. Because I don't think any of that... did I change that stuff? I don't think I changed this. So what's the actual problem here? This is null. This is null. One shot play. It must be null at this point then. And that's initialization order stuff. Engine. So ID gen needs to be initialized before engine, which it is. Oh, hold on. ID gen is not even passed to the engine. How does this work? We're into the beating heart of Blockhead now. Oh, I'm just getting it like that. Yeah, that's not going to work. So let's pass it in. ID gen.
Hey, do you want to see my audio callback while we're here?
that's not it. Is it? Yeah, it is. That's what my audio callback looks like. That might interest you if you're an audio developer. Here. There we go. That should solve that issue, I think. Was there no underscore? No underscore. Did I change your header? What did I change? It's like rebuilding everything. Oh, yeah, I changed this. Okay. Okay, what was I testing? I want to have two samples. Open the export dialog for one of them. Look at the waveform, looks correct. Then open for the other one. Aha. There we go. This is why I said open each one twice, because I knew there was going to be this bug. Yeah. I want to say instead of open, I want to instead of open, say reopen, and then if this scene is already opened. And this export dialog has the same problem as the other one, where this waveform, I guess it's fine. The waveform control sort of remains active when the dialog is hidden, and it's only explicitly deactivated if you actually confirm an export, rather than every time the dialog disappears. Alright, let's do it properly. So now I actually don't need this, but I will do it anyway, because it doesn't hurt. Okay, that's fine. Happy with that. Reinterpret bytes. How do I let's do this. I'm dragging a video file in. Okay, this is working. Let's sit here and watch this just to see if anything out of the ordinary happens. So this is loading the sample data, and then it will do another pass to update the bitmap to improve the quality of this waveform. Like this. Let's just stop before it finishes, just to see if that's okay. Oh, this is a really long... I'm going to turn the volume right down because it's likely going to sound really horrible, because I've dragged a video. If you don't know about this Blockhead feature, you can drag any file into Blockhead and just interpret the bytes of the file as if it's a WAV, basically, which usually is going to sound really bad. This is basically a compressed video file, so let's see how it sounds. Yeah, it's just white noise. Which is what I was expecting, I suppose, for that kind of a file. But sometimes it's like really interesting what you can find. If you open a file that has like structured data. Anyway. So that's all working, nothing's crashing. Undo that, delete. Yeah, it's fine. Redo. Undo, redo, undo. Should I just undo as far as I can? Actually, that's not going to be far, because in debug mode, I think I have like an undo redo history of 5, I think it is. Yeah, it's 5. Because usually that helps in debugging undo redo problems, having a really short history. But anyway, what are the dialogues do I need to test? I can think of a couple off the top of my head. There is the add label. This is add label. That worked. Set folder. So that should now appear in folder. Let's just check it updates. Oh, okay. This is the same problem. Yep. I knew I'd have a bunch of these. I've basically I've created an API here with this, not an API, an interface. With this GDN scene open thing. It's an interface which is easy to use incorrectly and hard to use correctly, which is the opposite of how things should be. That's why I made this note of open each one twice, because I knew I was going to be making mistakes using this stupid interface that I've created. It's a bad interface, but it's the best one that I could come up with for solving the problem that I was trying to solve, which I'm not going to explain. Um, what the hell was I doing? Oh yeah, folders stuff. So set folder egg isbige undo redo. So this is working. Rename, yeah. Block name, that should appear in the bottom right, yeah. And here. Undo, redo, open it again. Create clone. Label. So labels are per instance, names are per block. If I rename it here, it should update on the blocks. Yes. Choose the folder. Okay, that's all fine. What other dialogues do I have that I haven't tested yet? Replace sample, yeah. Replace. Undo, redo, undo, redo. This is all feeling pretty good, guys. Let's test. Create a macro. Hold on, let's do this. Create a macro containing a filter. Like this. Input track 1, input track none. Okay, then let's do something even more fucked up. Let's use a manipulator. Frequency. And then let's dump all of that into another macro. We're getting a little bit of glitchiness in the audio there just because it's in debug mode. So if you keep an eye on the CPU, it will sometimes spike past 100. Interestingly, it's rebaking everything when I move the macro when it doesn't need to, I suppose. That kind of stuff is so complicated. A lot of the time it won't do that. But I think it's when I have macros inside macros, it's not dealing with things correctly. Like this is a macro here, and if I move it, it doesn't have to rebake this macro because it understands that even though the absolute position of the position within the song or within the project timeline of these internal blocks, that is changing, but the parent macro is also changing along with them, so it doesn't need to rebake the entire macro. Only rebakes these things down here. But if I have macros within macros, then it's just like, oh, that's too complicated for me to understand. Then so it just rebakes everything, it seems like. I think there was a point in time when that was all working correctly because I figured out what should actually be happening. But not anymore. Let's create 2 clones of this macro. and then set this to affect parent blocks and affect all tracks. So this is a really complicated situation now. This is laggy. Still, I think that's always been a problem. I think it's less laggy than it was. But this manipulator is affecting so many other things now. And some of it has been moved into another thread for processing, but some of it is still in the UI thread. Let's do this as well. So now we're spiking CPU, so it's getting really glitchy. Just waiting for the baking. Okay. Let's save this as DDD and open it. Crash. Fail to set block loop. Block 131 doesn't seem to exist. Okay. I don't think this is anything to do with macros. I think it's just blocks in general and the loop parameter. Yes. Why am I doing this? That call doesn't make sense. It should be set block loop. So I thought that was going to be something to do with macros, but it looks like it's just this very simple bug, which makes me happy because Macro bugs are the worst thing in the world. Especially when it comes to saving and loading macros. Another bug. Is it the same thing? It's the same thing. Oh, right, because it's still... Okay. It's still going through all this. Oh, dear. Unchanged. Ah. Right. How's this supposed to work? So the problem is this object's being constructed and it's calling this load function in the constructor. So before the load function completes, the object has not finished being constructed yet. But the problem is at some point we get to here within the load function and then we're trying to query the block manager for that constructed object, which hasn't been added to the manager yet. This doesn't make... It shouldn't get to here though. But it's getting hits because of this watch that I have. So set plugin is happening before the load, I guess. Load. Oh yeah, I remember changing this. Yeah, I remember doing this. I know a simple way I can change this. I mean, a simple way I can fix it. Or do I? Yeah, I do. Okay. It's not ideal, but... Wait, hold on. Yeah, all I want is for the load function to be called before the set plugin function. Because the set plugin function, because it's written in a stupid way, it will set up this watch on the loop parameter so that it can react to it. But I don't want that to happen until after the load is completed. So let's do this. Okay, set plugin. I'm going to pass it a UID instead. Do not pass it to the constructor. And then this does the same thing. Oh, that doesn't make sense. I'm a little bit confused actually about how this works. Am I correct in thinking that this happens? No, it always goes through this. And then this is a delegating constructor. Always, I think. If we always construct a block through this constructor, then we're fine. I don't think it will ever go. Yeah, okay. This is like an artifact of the old. It's just the kind of thing that happens when you have several refactors on top of each other. Basically, I shouldn't have two constructors here. I should just have one because it's always going to be going through this constructor. So I guess I just get rid of it. That's a bit of a job because I have to do it for every block if I want to be consistent about it. I have to do it because all of these block types are written in the same way, I think. Alright, I'll just change it for samplers and synths and effects because those are the only ones that this particular bug would affect. Is this green squiggly line actually real? Do I not have a definition? I do. Oh no, that's the... Right, delete those. So delete this constructor. Set plugin. Delete a plugin like this. Okay. The fuck did I just do? Okay. Right. So I'm going to do the same change for the effects and synth blocks. I missed something there. Yes, I did. Now I've lost my train of thought again. Need to change this. Hopefully that should work correctly. Just eyeballing everything. See if anything jumps out. Okay. And now we crash. Because the plugin hasn't been loaded yet. Well, at least the crash makes sense. Alright, that's fine. I can just pass the plugin in. Can I? Okay, in the case of sample blocks, it's going to have to work a little bit differently. this is like a fatal error. So the fact that the constructor is just completely failing at the moment is just not something that I am prepared to deal with. Plug in. All right. Okay. Should be like this, I think. Maybe? Why is Visual Studio like not helping me at all here? Okay. This is not correct at all. Well, this one actually should be kept plugged in. Sampler. Oh, that's good because then the interface doesn't change. Oh no, I do need it. Ah, shit. Oh, that's fine. You not happy about that? Oh, whoops. There we go. Right. Plug in. I think this is fine. I find that when I'm recording these videos, I tend to fix things in a very quick and sometimes maybe sloppy way without thinking about things too much because I don't want to think while I'm recording. I don't know why. If I'm thinking, then I'm just going to be silent all the time. Get plugin sampler. So it's maybe a good argument for like not doing these videos is that I'm not necessarily going to be fixing things in, like, I think usually with a problem like this, I would notice that I've made some kind of like fundamental design error here. And if I wasn't recording a video, I would start thinking about refactoring everything again. But that's the consistent problem with Blockhead development is I'm just constantly noticing that everything's wrong and then refactoring entire systems and refactoring and over and over again, which is good in a way because that's the way that you get like a good robust system. But it's also bad in that you're just forever refactoring and never making any actual progress. So doing these videos, one of the upshots, I suppose, is it forces me to actually make progress and get things done, even if I'm not getting things done in a particularly good way. What was the thing that I did here? Oh yeah, copy. Oh yeah, so turn loop on and then copy. Didn't work. After all that, it didn't work. Loop is turned on, reverse is turned on, copy. Neither. So that's interesting. Loop, reverse, crash. What the fuck is this? I do not know what is happening here. Huh? This is a scary bug, because this is happening inside the EML library. It was part of the baking system. I don't know if this is something that I just introduced just now, or if it was always happening. Hmm. This is weird. I need to find a way to reproduce that consistently if I'm gonna debug it. This is all I did, right? Okay, well... Let's see why why these toggles are not loading when I copy a block. Copy. Oh, it'll be part of the parameter data. Load parameters. How does this work? Interesting. So when I copy a block, there doesn't seem to be any toggle data present. Let's see if it's visible in a project file. Because the serialization routines for copying and pasting are effectively the same as what's used for saving to a project. So I might be able to look at the JSON and see if there's any problems. So if I turn these on. Ah, is this the same issue I saw a moment ago? But in a different context this time. Very interesting. Wow. What is going on here? Um, this might actually be related to the change I just made. This is a union type, if I remember correctly. This is like really old code, one of the first things that I ever did. This is before I knew about standard variant. Should always exist. I wasn't seeing this crash before, and I've been doing a bunch of testing, but I don't know if I ever actually tested flipping those toggles on and off. But why would that cause this? I mean, it's triggering the baking system. But I've been triggering baking system all over the place and never seen this. So it feels like I've just introduced this now. To me. Ah. Right, fine. Is that right? What's the problem? Does that not just solve? What? Alright, fucking hell. Why? Didn't I literally just... Am I dumb? Yes, I'm dumb. This is a const. How the hell does this work? How does anything work? What? Oh, right, okay. Fine. Sorry. I understand. Stop compiling. Okay. This is turning into a real shit fest. Okay, great. MSVC has got confused about what files are compiled, so I have to do a complete rebuild because Microsoft are terrible at their jobs. So I'm going to stop the recording and start again when it finishes. Okay. Okay, those toggles also aren't loaded from the project file, which is really good because it means I can debug this in an easier way. This is not it. This is the project file. There's 2 blocks. What? This is very strange. It looks like I have 1 block in the project, but when the project file was saved, it sort of split it into 2. And the ID of this block is 132. So this is the correct entry. It's also created this 111 entry. I have no idea where that's come from. Just save a project without doing anything other than adding this sampler. See how that looks. Did the same thing again. That is so bizarre. 929. Very interesting. Okay. Where should I look? Base sampler. Save. Okay. Right. I need to take a quick break, so I'll be back in a second. Okay. So there seems to be a problem with First of all, I have this concept of a hidden block, which is part of how sort of block initialization is handled. And hidden blocks shouldn't be saved to the project file, and it seems like they are being. So let me fix that first of all. Okay, now if I do this, save, and look at that file again. Okay, so now that hidden block is not being saved to the file, which is good. But I still have the problem that the toggles are not being saved. Which I guess happens here. Come on. So number 12 is the loop. 11, 12. That looks correct. Huh. So that much looks correct. So being stuffed into this dictionary. I don't see what the problem is with that. I don't see it yet. Okay, this makes perfect sense because I broke everything with the change that I made earlier when I changed this this thing. Excuse me. Okay. So previously I was setting the plugin first and then I was loading the block data with the assumption that the plugin had already been set. Now I'm loading the plugin afterwards, so during the load operation I'm loading all of the parameter data and then it's seeing that there's no plugin set yet, and so it's loading data for parameters that don't exist yet because the plugin has to load first. So that change that I made doesn't make sense. What else did I change? That's it, right? Except for this. Oh, and that stuff. So I'm going to revert that change that I made here in these files because it doesn't make sense. I need to solve the problem in a different way. Discard that. Discard that. I'm quite happy to revert that actually because it was a very kind of a hacky fix for the problem. So I'll find some other way of fixing it. This stuff is all fine. Engine stuff. Pass ID gen to engine. I can't even remember why I did that. Stop saving hidden blocks to project. Deactivate waveform node when sample dialog hidden. This one. Right, what was the problem with the loop? So this should actually fix the problem that I was just seeing now where the toggles weren't being saved. Oh, this is going to take forever to build actually. What was the thing with the loop? Can't find it now. Not that one. This one. So the problem here was what? I can't set the block loop like this. Set block loop. Oh, you finished building. Ah! Oh my god, come on. So just to confirm, if I now turn on loop and reverse and then copy. Oh yeah, this is the original problem that I was trying to solve. Okay. Why is everything so slow today? It's not usually this bad. What the hell, Visual Studio? It's because I have so many files open and you just can't handle it. Let's close all this shit. It's still... What is going on? Do I need to restart? So if I do that, what does that do? Let's have a look. It does this. And God knows what that does. It's going to find the loop toggle and then set the value. Which is going to cause this to be triggered. Why am I doing this weird watch? If the plugin has a loop toggle parameter, then it's treated in a special way so that it works with the loop toggle keyboard shortcut. Right. That's going to go to here. Right. So this is easy to solve. It's just the fact that I'm doing it by ID, but there's no need to do that. So I can just do this, right? base block. Yeah. That should solve the issue. I feel like I'm actually getting stuff done today, which is nice. So, do that and then that. Copy. Beautiful. Fantastic. Let's save it. Aha. Oh, that's because I have the file open in 7-zip. Bad expected access. What? Bad expected access. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Let me delete that. Let's do this again. That. Save project. Test. Open project. Bad expected access. Cool. Okay. Interesting. Never seen this before. I hate when Visual Studio does that. Okay. I handle errors during project loading with exceptions, which is one of the rare places that I actually use exceptions. So it'll be, this is where it gets caught, I think. You'll see it. Wait. Oh, does it unwind the stack so you can't go back to where it actually happens? I use exceptions so rarely, so I'm not familiar with them. I guess you can't just look up the stack back to where the error happened. Is that not a thing with exceptions? Okay, that's fine. I could try to figure out where exactly the error is happening. It'll be in one of these. Well, actually, we can see where it's happening. Because Blockhead tells you. I very rarely have to debug problems with the project loading. For the most part, it just works. So that's why I'm not familiar with, I'm not quite sure, I'm not immediately sure how to approach this, but I should be fine. So creating workspaces, and then an error happened. So it happens in here. In fact, it happens here. So an exception should be thrown somewhere in here. It seems like. There it was. Somewhere in there. Which is a very big operation. This workspace load. 1,000 things happen in here. So let's see it. Let's track this shit down. Somewhere in here where the track is loaded. I don't know why I keep restarting, there's no need to do that. There is no need. It's probably going to be in here. Load. Yes. Probably going to be in here. Yep. Okay. Right. Is it in here? Oh. And then I access it immediately even though it failed. Okay, hold on. Let me have a look at the project file. Wow, this is very wrong. This is completely wrong. Wow. I have broken something. Massively. So these are the block instances. I have two. Each one refers to a unique block. So I have two block instances. That's all correct. But these are referring to blocks that don't exist in the project file. 29 and 67. The blocks that exist in the project file are 9 and 50. I don't know how I've broken this. How did I manage this? Sorry. This? That's what I've done. I don't think anyone is actually watching these videos, but for those of you who actually are, did you notice that when I typed that? Were you screaming at your computer? Because I would be. So close that. Yeah, remove all these breakpoints. I will probably stop the video after this because the previous video that I uploaded was like 4 hours long and it took so long to render and a really long time to upload. Although I could just do it overnight, I suppose. Just because I've discovered yesterday that DaVinci Resolve allows you to just automatically upload to YouTube after the render is done, so I could just leave that overnight, but I don't think I really want to do that. What was I working on? Can't remember what I was doing. Oh yeah, save to a file and then reopen it. Does it? Yes. Good. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to continue working, but I think that's the end of this video, just to keep the file size down. Okay, bye-bye.